You've tried for your fish almost everything on the market? Or maybe your shrimps refuse to eat dedicated food, so you don't know what to do. It's the time for some homemade food. Let's see what can be used as a fish food for our beloved inhabitants. Some are easy and ready to use right away, while others need a little cooking from our part. So, put your cooking apron on and preheat the oven for some nice do-it-yourself fish food. Hi friends! Aren't you already tired of spending a fortune on fish food? Or maybe your guppy fish just got a lot of fries, they caught you off guard and you don't have proper food for them, for the babies. In this case you're in the right spot. I will put this aside and I will show you step by step how to make some homemade food with simple ingredients that everybody have at home. Just some veggies, some flour and a few eggs. Let's make together cheap fish food and maybe some lollies for our shrimps. Some veggies can be used right away, like this courgette. You just need to peel them off, or you can use a small zucchini, while others need to be boiled before added to our tank, like that carrot over there. Then sliced up. I prefer to peel them so I can be sure no chemicals will get into my fish tank. Our inhabitants are more sensitive than humans are, unfortunately, and smaller quantities of chemicals can lead to accidents. Inserting them to a skewer stick makes them easier to add and remove from our fish tank, but you can just use a single slice. I will move this huge quantity from an aquarium to the other ones. Shrimps and catfish, like bristlenose plecos especially, love veggies. If you first boil them, will soften up and will be accepted by your livestock. Unfortunately, my guppies are so greedy and they spook away most of the shrimp. But as you can see, on the bottom of the tank, another veggie is the main attraction. Everyone is eating up peas beans. Peas need to be boiled first and also need to be peeled, just like so. Then you can just drop some in your fish tank. Goldfish love to eat this kind of food, and for their gallbladder it's important to give them once in a while. Just like so, you got the point. We can use them in other ways also. With a spoon or something like that, you can press it and make it like a puree. And this is what we are going to give to our fish. It's a nice trick. Even smaller fish can eat this, and shrimps as well. Don't worry, they will eat up eventually everything I gave them, but it's a high protein vegetarian meal and it makes a super fine dust in the water that can be eaten even by our smallest fish fries. Earlier, you probably noticed that I had an egg boiling. Here is how I use it. I will only need a single egg yolk to make the best possible food for my fish fries. This is how much you get from a single egg. I only had a single egg here. You can use this as it is, or to preserve it for a longer period of time, you can dry it out in the oven. Now with this egg yolk, you can just give it as it is, or you can mix it with some regular fish food. You can see all those tiny particles in the water. No matter how small your fish fries are, they will still be able to at least take a few of that small powder. I used this method when I was a kid for guppies breeding.
By then there were no fancy foods to buy from the market. Egg yolk, just like peas beans, it releases a high protein, very nutritious, fine powder all over the tank. Next one is even more popular.
We have two kinds of spinach. This is fine minced spinach and these are whole leaf.
This kind of spinach
we can give to our fish as it is. We just open the bag, take some leaves and put them to boil.
Boiling it for a couple of minutes is probably enough. I boil them a little more to make leaves more tender. You can see that even guppies, fish that aren't vegetarian, love to take a bite on the spinach. In about 30 minutes, the leaf will be completely gone.
Next, I will show you what to do with the grinded one, with fine minced one. Let's get going. I will show you step by step multiple ways to make some fish food and shrimp food.
Instead of spinach, you can use nettles, but only if you live near a forest or at least you have access to an unpolluted area. Just boil those instead. Adding garlic to the mixture is a small improvement to help the fish health, but is not a mandatory one.
I will turn off the heat, let it cool a little.
At this point, we have two options. First option is to make a jelly.
One of these is enough for that quantity.
But let the spinach puree cool off first.
You take out the jelly from the fridge. It's solid. And just drop it to a cutting board. Cut it in tiny portions. Just grab a tiny cube like this and drop it in your fish tank.
Unfortunately, you need to keep this kind of food in cold place, and unless you have many fish tanks, you need to do tiny portions. My next method involved dough. It will be improved in time. I just learned it from other YouTuber and for now is just experimental.
Now that we boil our spinach, let's get rid of the excess water. It should look just like so.
Really squeeze out all the water. The drier it gets, the better. Unfortunately, in this video, as a filling material, I had to use wheat flour, but it has minimal nutritive value, and if used in excess, can cause digestion problems. To improve the recipe, I've ordered some krill and other fish meal powder, hemoglobin powder, and other binder ingredients. Feel free to improve the method the best you can. When I will be happy with my new recipe, I will try to make an update video, but for now use this method with discretion.
I need to dry out this food even more, so I will add this egg yolk in the oven as well. It doesn't need to be a high temperature, just high ventilation.
After I've cooked in the oven, I tried them out but was not happy. The sticks were too light, so they were floating. The lollies looked okay and shrimps seems to enjoy them, but I dislike the fact I had to use so much wheat flour. Next time I will dry the spinach or nettles and just use egg white to glue it to the skewer sticks, like my friend did here. But I still hope that you can put some of my ideas to great use. I wish you, my friends, the best of luck with homemade foods.